Hey, seventh grade. So we are going to start a new lesson this week about pattern. So a pattern is when you have a motif that gets repeated over and over. So there's a word there you've probably not heard before, and that's a motif. So a motif is a unit. It's basically what's being repeated. So if I had a shirt with stripes on it, one stripe is the motif, and then it gets repeated over and over. Okay? We can have a regular pattern. That is when you have the same motif and it gets repeated in the same position. So imagine if we look at the bookshelf and all the books are standing straight up in the same order. And let's say they're all the same books, like textbooks that we have in the art room. So that would be a regular pattern. The concrete walls that we have in the classroom, they're just stacked right on top of each other. That's a regular pattern. Okay. A random pattern is when you have the same motif, but it's in no apparent order. So imagine we have a bag of M&Ms and we drop them on the table and they just kind of scatter everywhere. Well, the motif is an M&M. It could be different colors, but the motif is an M&M and it's got this random pattern. There's no order to it. An alternating pattern is when you have a motif that changes position or you introduce another motif. So it's like if I look at this one here, I have 3 lines that are horizontal, 3 lines that are vertical, 3 horizontal, 3 vertical, XO, 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 AB, AB. A brick pattern, like just a regular brick pattern, we alternate those bricks. So that is an alternating pattern. Now, to get ready for this project that we're going to do a mini project first. And that one is called 16 patterns. We will need to have a clean sheet of white paper. We're going to fill the picture plane. I'm going to show you an example. It's going to be done neatly. Patterns have to be small and close together. I'll show you in the examples what I'm talking about. You must have value. Value is light and dark. We need to see some shading. You need to have contrast. Contrast is an extreme difference. So that's going to be like your black and white. So a contrast. The patterns must go past the border. I'll explain what that means. No stripes, okay? You're going to create 16 patterns. I don't want to see just stripes, okay? I don't need vertical stripes, no horizontal stripes, no diagonal stripes. Don't need it. You can use numbers one time. So let's say you play sports and your favorite number is 13. You can just repeat 13, 13, 13, 13. That's fine. But you can only use numbers once. You can only use letters one time, okay? So just one time. So if you're going to repeat your name over and over and over, you can only do it one time. So to get ready for this project, you're going to need a clean sheet of white paper. We are going to fold this paper. So we're going to go ahead and fold it this way. All right. Now you're going to fold it this way. You're going to fold it this way. Basically, no matter how you fold it, you're going to fold it equally 4 times, okay? 4 times. So now when you open it up, you will end up with 16 rectangles, okay? So we have 16 rectangles. Now, when I was looking at this right here, guys, look, patterns must be small and close together. You have to show value. You have to show contrast, okay? Let me show you an example of what we're talking about. This is a 16 pattern, okay? This example right here, showing the dots, big dots, little dots with some shading in the background, okay? This pattern is small and it's close together. Some patterns go past the border, so are off the page. Do you see where the circles are kind of cut in half right here? All right, now let's look at this one. So they created first a little checkerboard design, and then they split it up into triangles with lines going horizontal, lines going vertical, okay? Again, small, close together. Look at this one right here. Another checkerboard idea. Some of the lines on the inside are going horizontal, some are going vertical. So this one shows a lot of contrast and a lot of value. I'm seeing different grays and really bold black and white. This example right here. These are little lightning bolts. They did that in a dark gray and a medium gray. They repeated it over and over. And see, they've got it going past the border. Okay, this example right here, coming past the border. Now this pattern is a little big, okay, and this pattern's a little big. I would have gone smaller there. But there's some neat ideas here. Here are some rain clouds. Again, that motif's repeated over and over. Flowers repeated over and over. Look at this value right here. We have black, gray, white, black, gray, white. So they're showing us that value and that contrast. This example has some neat ideas. The puzzle pieces are a little big. I would have gone smaller, okay, because you want them small and close together, but it's a neat idea. This one right here, neat idea. We've got that black, white, gray, little flowers. Here the puzzle pieces are smaller. So this is more what we're looking for. This poor paper has been torn. But we can see here some examples. Stars and moons, created a pattern. Music notes, created a pattern. All right, this one, not for sure what kind of pattern they're going for here, but this is way too big. So what we don't want to see, okay, like these are great examples of patterns, all right? What we don't want to see is just lines and no shading. So this is what we don't want, okay? So this student could have came in and shaded this in black. They could have left that white. They could have made that gray, black, white, gray. They could have shaded behind the circles, or they could have shaded the circles. So you can see that this one is not showing us value. Like it does not have that examples like these that we're looking for, okay? We've got to see that value and contrast. This one right here, that's not a pattern. There's only one heart. Remember, to make a pattern, you have to have the motif that repeats over and over. And we don't want just lines, okay? We don't want just lines. So you're going to have to include shading. So again, what we are looking for is 16 patterns, okay? 16 patterns. And I'll type all this out for you in your Google Classroom. Done neatly. Patterns are small, close together. Shows value and contrast. Patterns need to go past the border. So we can see, like again, in this example where some of these triangles were cut in half. No stripes. Only use numbers one time if you want to. Only use letters one time if you want to. When you are working on this right here and you're shading, you're going to end up getting graphite on your hand. So what I would do if you're shading like this area here is get a clean sheet of white paper and put your hand on it. So as you are working, you are not smearing everything that you've already worked on. Okay. So again, it's just learning to control our tools. Okay. We don't want to ruin what we've already got down here. All right. I'll type this up and put it in Google Classroom. Please let me know if you have any questions. But you are creating 16 patterns to get ready for our big Zentangle project. So when I say Zentangle, look up the ideas. You can find patterns everywhere, okay? Like look at the bottom of your shoes and you are going to see patterns, okay? Look around your room and you're going to see patterns. Look on folders and notebooks, jackets, belts. You're going to see lots of patterns, okay? But if you want to look for ideas online, type in Zentangle patterns and you're going to see all kinds of neat ideas that are available that you could use. So Zentangle patterns. So Google that if you need to. But first I'd see what you could do that's original. Like that one person over here, she did snowflakes, stars and moon, music notes. So what could you do that's just a little different than everybody else? Okay. Let me know if you have any questions.